You're looking at a feature called Snap Map. It is built into Snapchat, giving you the ability to share your location with your friends or the internet at large. They know where you are at all times and when you're active on the app. And as of 2022, 250 million people shared their location there. And while the idea of your phone acting like a tracking device terrifies some people, it's not only common for young people. The Snap Map or Instagram locations or Find My iPhone are all part of the social fabric. To help explain this, we're joined by Hannah Alper, who's the author of a recent article called Why Gen Z is Addicted to Location Sharing. Hannah, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. How do you use this day to day with your friends?
Yeah, so I use it on Apple's Find My, Snapchat Snap Maps, and Instagram's recent location sharing feature. And most people in my generation do share their location constantly with people. And what turned into what was originally supposed to be a tool for digital safety and convenience to track a bus progress or see where your friends are to hang out has turned into something where we're constantly keeping tabs of other people. And my generation, I think, has become so used to being watched, initially by our parents, that it became normal, almost comforting for our friends now to know where we are all the time. And I know how crazy that sounds.
Yeah, so let's first of all talk about the comfort level, then we'll talk about what you say is crazy. So why do you think you find comfort in being findable?
I think that my generation is really used to being seen, and that the difference of being watched kind of really subtly seeped in. I've had a public Instagram since I was 12 years old, and we always post online to show off status and where we are. And I think we also live in a time where, for safety reasons, we know every good and bad thing that's happening in the world thanks to social media. So knowing where our friends are is very comforting sometimes, especially in the era of one-night stands and hookup culture and going in Uber rides in cars that are very unfamiliar. And it's also good for convenience. And instead of those scenes in Friends where you're waiting for someone to get to the coffee shop, you can just check their location. And that was, I think, the original purpose, but now it's become something that's much more akin to surveillance.
Now, you also write about having sort of like an intimacy because of this. Can you explain that further?
Yeah, for sure. I really think that it's one of those invasive disguised as intimacy things. When me and my friends are at a bar and one of my friends is chronically late, we'll check her location, see she's still at home, and call her to tell her to get moving. And there's so many situations like that that I think it really does bring you closer together. You know that you're close friends, whether it's in a friendship or relationship, when the big questions popped, share your location with me. And you can always see when you guys are hanging out. And it does bring up that feeling of, oh, wow, this person trusts me enough to know where I am. But then at the same time, like 15 people had my location. And I can see hundreds of well-dressed avatars on Snap Map. So I think that it has become something that's more than or less than it's all these people that I'm close with, and more something that is a little bit more invasive disguised as intimacy.
Okay, now we have to get to this part. Are you not afraid of people knowing where you are at all times? There are many people watching at home when they download a new app and it says, this app wants to know your location. They say, absolutely not. What do you say about the dangers on that side?
I would say that my parents' generation and people that are probably a little bit more skeptical of it were those people that could go off at all hours of the day and night and their parents and their friends not know where they are. So social media and this increasing reliance on technology is already something that's really unknown to them. But for us, it's something that's really, really normal. Being able to post where we are, who we're with, is something that's comforting to us and shows off status. And so this is all something that's become a default mode, but now it's become an expectation to the point that it's almost weird if you don't share your location if all your friends are. But then there's also the fears of seeing all your friends are hanging out without you, or knowing or seeing that you're at a private location. Or now also, gone are the days where you can flake with a vague excuse because you want to conserve your social battery, or type on the way while you're still in bed. So it really has eroded any sense of privacy and even what that actually means.
So are you not worried about strangers knowing where you are, or the fact that you can never really be alone?
Definitely. On the Find My app, I only share it with my close friends, and most people in my generation only do. But then on Snapchat, Snap Maps, you can share it with all your friends which could be even more casual than Facebook friend status. It can be people that you don't even know. I know where people are right now that I've never met before on Snap Maps. My parents have educated me enough on the concept of digital safety that I've never shared it with someone that I don't know, but it can always fall into the wrong hands. And if you have a falling out with a friend or you just don't talk to someone very much anymore, it's very easy to forget that your location is still on. And there's the concept that it's even harder to turn it off.
Interesting stuff. It's a fascinating conversation. Hannah, thank you for starting it for us here today. I think a lot of people will be having the same one at their home. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thanks so much.